What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk on two things Lucid needs to do in the short term to hopefully get out of this negative downtrend and to be a little bit more appealing to institutions. So I'm going to be talking about what I mean and what those 2 points are. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciated. And with that, let's get right to it. So when it comes down to institutions, I really always monitor the secondary market dark pool just to see what big money is doing. And as of late, it does look like they are scaling back. And it's very odd because the fact that we are at $6.72, I would have assumed that institutions would be taking advantage of these discounted prices. But unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case. So again, let me know your thoughts on that. In my opinion, a lot of institutions and retail investors are just waiting for Lucid to do these two things. One of which is just hitting this target, plain and simple. So in regards to the upcoming Q4 earnings, they're going to be talking on a wide range of things, but one of which is they're going to be talking on production. So I think this is a must for Lucid. They have to hit this target. If not, then we will continue this downward spiral very, very aggressively. And the fact that they initially started with 20, cut it down to 12 to 14, then further cut it to 6 to 7, if they do not hit this target, that's going to be very, very negative on Lucid. But once again, this is a must. In my opinion, Lucid is in a little bit more of a sticky scenario because right now they've had a lot of issues in 2022 trying to develop his production, and obviously in that is a lot of issues because with VPs not necessarily having the appropriate work ethic, if you want to consider it that way. But hopefully, like I said, Lucid does hit this 6,000 to 7,000 target, and in my opinion, I think a lot of institutions are now waiting on that, on the actual results of the Q4 earnings, because at this stage in the game, Lucid had a lot of good ideas, a lot of good business plans, but now it is at this stage in the game where they need to actually have some results. So I think everyone is just waiting on that. So this is the first point that Lucid must do to get out of this negative downtrend. So like I said, let me know your thoughts on that. When it comes down to it though, still in line with the upcoming Q4 earnings, they did fail to give any guidance in the Q3 earnings as far as what they're going to be doing in 2023. So as you can see, this is all the projections up until 2026. And when it comes to it though, this is technically the best information that we do have, even though this was developed in 2021. So as you can see, the initial 20 for 2022 has 49,000 for 2023. So like I said, I think that is also another big thing that they're going to be doing is what is their forecast for 2023. Of course, it's very easy just to say 49, but keep in mind they initially projected the gravity to come out in 2023. So they are projecting initially 12,000 gravities to be produced. That could most likely get rolled over to 2024 or just might get written off at this stage in the game. So it is fair to say that 36 might be the actual forecast, and that is just purely errors. So once again, let me know your thoughts on that. My own opinion is I would absolutely love to hear anything greater than 30. So for instance, if they come and they say 20, for instance, on the upcoming earnings, if they say that they're going to be forecasting 20,000, I see that the market is going to take that as a very big negative. Of course, like I said, anywhere between 30 or higher would be absolutely ideal and most likely would appreciate the price behind the scenes. So let me know your thoughts on that. Like I said, there's a lot more context behind the Q4 earnings, but that is two things that Lucid needs to do, is provide good guidance for 2023 and hit this damn target for 2022. So I personally feel both are very much achievable as far as this production, and this technically could be done because their AMP facility is really ramping up. There is no real reasoning behind the scenes that they could not really hit their target initially of 36 or even 30, like I said. So hopefully they do hit those two targets, but when it comes down to it, like I mentioned, Q4 is going to be one hell of a wild ride because in earnings there is several different things that they do talk on, one of which is earnings per share, revenue, and then future guidance. So future guidance, yes, they're going to be talking on the actual projected deliveries and production, but there's a lot of different things. They're going to be talking on expansion. So Q4 is going to be, like I said, a very interesting wild ride, and I do feel that a lot of institutions and retail investors are very much waiting for that. So most likely that's going to be coming the first week or first 2 weeks of February. So again, that could be a very positive sign. I'm going to do a very in-depth video on exactly things that you need to look forward to and basically what analysts are saying as far as what revenue is going to be projected as, and also technically earnings per share and various other formats as you can see right here. But again, those are my two things that I do feel that Lucid needs to do and needs to hit a home run on. So of course they could potentially miss on revenue, because I think right now we are in a little bit more of a also interesting state that will benefit Lucid. Right now, Lucid could get away with, for instance, a miss in revenue and earnings per share, because of course ramping up is a little bit more costly and various things. So I think right now this is a very good time for Lucid, where the market just plainly wants production and good results at least. So they can get away with some mixed earnings, like earnings per share, revenue, and various other things, like I said, but they really need to hit a home run when it comes down to this. I would absolutely love for them to see as far as 50. And keep in mind, going over here, just based on this, so once again, things have changed as far as the overall map and so forth, but they are very close to phase 2. So that is 90,000. As it stands right now, 34,000 is the actual capacity for phase 1. So they could hypothetically do 34 as of right now, and I do believe phase 2 is going to be completed in February. That's based on at least what I see out there and what people are talking on. So once again, could potentially hit that target very much easily, because imagine if we could in February do up to 90,000. Of course that's going to be diluted and retro with subtracting 2 months, but I think in general we can easily hit the 30 to 36 my projected amount. So once again, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. On a side note, give yourself a shout out in the comments below if you've been taking advantage of these discounted prices. Last time I did buy was at $8.03, so I would have figured that was going to be very close to the bottom, but it does look like it is a little bit more of a falling knife at this stage in the game, largely because of broader economic conditions, Tesla, and various other things. But in my opinion, we do need to have these two things very much positive for Lucid to get out, and hopefully to bring in a whole new rush of institutions to give us some good support levels. So with all that, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Hopefully everyone is ready for their holidays. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you guys celebrate. I appreciate watching, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciated. And with that said, let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.